the euro is quite a bit stronger than the British pound. So let me go ahead and put on the overlay chart here. Show you what I mean. Or not. Okay, just an example. You can see here, while the euro was pushing up towards all-time highs, the pound was well off of its highs. So, supply was coming into both markets. You could say that while the pound was the weaker of the two, let's go ahead and measure the moves just in general. So you've had the pound move down by 600 pips since the major supply started hitting the market. The euro moving down by 359. Okay, so that's pretty typical. The pound was a much weaker currency. It broke quite a bit more in general. So that's what do you do with this? How do you game this? Well, the typical strategy is when market conditions are weak, you short or you sell the weak ones. And the weak one has been the British pound. That's going to be the choice when supply hits the marketplace. The euro would be a secondary type of trade because it's been strong. But generally speaking, when the leaders start to crack and the leaders start to come down, that's when you can get an overall break in a market. It's no different than the stock market. When IBM, GE, Coca-Cola, when those types of stocks start to go down, generally speaking, you're going to see the overall market heading down as well. Same thing applies with currencies, although we've got a much more limited scope of symbols. Let's go back to the pound, just for the sake of argument here. So as we're looking here on the daily, remember we were talking about the hand pattern which formed here. The market broke that, continued to move along, and has started to trade down. Here's the euro. There's the last hand pattern again. Broke through that, continued to trade down. New Zealand dollar, this one stopped out. We're still waiting for some type of formation. Australian dollar did manage to break below its hand pattern, although it's looking like it's going to close above and stop it out right here. Bear with me. Japanese yen, again with the bad data. Japanese yen continues to move up. Here was the stop. This we talked about actually on the last webinar. The market moved down very quickly, stopped out the trend trade, and then has started to move back up. Here you can see the hand was triggered once again, so another entry most recently here with a cross above 113.59. Canadian dollar, you can see just continues to run up, very strong currency. Almost had another hand formation here, but not quite. So the last couple of entries are just still kind of floating along. And then finally, I'm sorry, that was the Swiss franc. Canadian stopped out right here. This was actually a pretty big move with the Canadian dollar. There were some rumors that there was a major international project that fell apart. So the Canadian took a dive and has then now started to move down. So that position was closed out. But there you go. More supply is hitting the market. This is also about the time that the Canadian bank came out and said it was going to increase supply. So you've got